Hi guys, this is Awais back with the third part of our project. So in this video I'll start building my 3D model on the top of my 2D plan. So the first thing what I want to do is I want to copy my 2D ground plan somewhere else. So now what I want to do, I want to clean up my drawing. I don't need dimensions, I don't need this interior inside my house, I don't need this car. So I just clean up all this stuff and I come back, alright? Okay, so clean up my drawing now. And now the first thing what you want to do is go to your 3D modeling. Change your workspaces to 3D modeling. Click on that. And now you're in the 3D modeling workspaces. And in the 3D modeling workspaces in the home panel, you got these 3 commands which are very useful: extrude, loft, revolve, and sweep. You got few 3D objects here. I've got mesh objects here. I've got solid editing, which includes Boolean operations. I've got 2D draw panel here. I've got modify panel, which is basically 3D commands. So I've got section pane. I've got coordinate systems here. I've got view system here. So pretty much we're all set to go. All right. So the first thing what I like to work in 3D is change the viewport to SW isometric, and now you're in this workspace. So okay, so now first I want to make a copy of this one more time. Just zoom in a little bit, and now I want to make a wall on this plan. So what can I do? Wall layer, I can use the isometric command as well. So I click the isometric and I click one of the wall object, I press spacebar. Now the wall has been isometric. So now go to your top viewport and then start making a boundary for this. So what I want to do, I want to just use my command BO, and I want to make a polyline, and I want to pick a point. So I'll pick a point here, I'll pick a point here, I'll pick the points there. So select all my points. So it's extrude all of these. Okay, so the extrusion would be about, let's say 9 or 10 feet. I give 10 feet. And now our walls are ready to go. Okay, so to see that in a 3D, you can change this viewport to shaded or shaded lines. And now as you can see that we got our walls ready. So now I want to change that to 2D, and I will copy this wall and just leave them on the side for my safety. So alright, and I'll leave it here. Okay, so now I'll copy these walls again, and I will drop that from this corner to here. So whatever I make now, I will make it outside, and I will move all my objects to this main part of the drawing. So now our walls are done. So the next part what I want to do, I want to create a window cutting. So because we're not gonna give a window of like whole wall, so we need a wall. So what I want to do is I want to delete this line, and now I will just hide my wall layer for a bit, turn off a layer, and I select my windows there, and now I just clean up a little bit. Alright, so now let's make some boundaries. So type BO, pick a point, Now let's cut some edging for the windows, alright? So now go back to your 2D wireframe viewport, and now you got this window. So with this window, I want to make another copy. And now just leave them here. And now we're going to apply a Boolean operation which is called subtraction. So I'll just extrude this window to about 6 feet. I will extrude these two windows, select this, and pretty much that's this one as well. So to extrude them to 6 feet. And now with these ones I want to extrude them to 9 feet. Okay, so now I can change them to layer windows, select all of the objects and change them to layer window. Okay, so now copy these windows. Okay, so from the bottom, what you want to do, you want to move up because your height is about 10 feet, alright? So that's a 6 feet. So you gotta move up to 2 feet. So you have a difference from the top 2 feet and 2 feet from the bottom. So to move in 3D space, what you have to do is select your move command by typing M. And I know that this is 6 feet, this is 6 feet, that's 6 feet, and these are all 6 feet. Okay, so now I will just press spacebar one time, and now I can just give a point. So now for the x-axis, I can type 0 and I press tab, y-axis 0 and I press tab, and now, sorry, you gotta type comma, so 0, comma, 0, comma, 0, comma, and now you get the z-axis value. So as you can see that here we got x-axis, y-axis, and a z-axis. So now you have a z-axis value. So when I move up 2 feet, okay, so our 2D windows, 3D windows are basically in space 2 feet up now. So I can copy these. And now I can select this subtract Boolean operation. The first thing what I've got to do, I've got to select a wall, press spacebar, and now I'm going to select this object which I want to subtract. So I want to select this, all my window layers. Okay, so press spacebar, and now change this to 3D. Alright guys, we got our 3D walls done with the cutting edge of the window. And now I'll show you to move around in your 3D workspace. Hold down your shift key and press your mouse wheel and just move. Now you can just move around and look at your drawing. Okay, so now I'll just go back to my SW isometric. And now what I want to do, I'm going to make a window. I will show you one round window, how to make that, and I'll show you one straight window, and I'll finish off all my windows and then I'll come back. Alright, so let's start making one window. So what I want to do, I want to make a copy of this. I'll copy this and about here, and now I'm going to explode this. So use your explode command, and shortcut key for that is type X spacebar. Select this boundary object. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to my top view, zoom in, and now I want to offset that by 3 inch from both sides. So that's going to be my window frame, so I have to extend that line there, this line there, and now I'm going to trim off that line, that line. and okay. Alright, so now I've got that. So what I want to do, I want to draw another line here, offset that up, make sure that you're working on a window layer, so make your current window a window layer. So I will offset, I'll change that to window layer first, and offset about 1.5 inch, so that would be 3 inch, and I'll get rid of this middle line. Here a reference point, let's make a reference point. So I'll just draw a line here, and I'll draw a line from a midpoint, and I will fillet that to this line. So I've got this midpoint now. So I want to copy this object, these two lines from this one, and just drop them to the midpoint, and then extend that to, alright, and then trim off these lines, and then get rid of these two lines. We don't need them anymore. Got one line to get rid of. So now mirror that, these two lines from this midpoint to, okay, so now we don't need this line as well. I'm gonna trim off this line and these lines. So I want to keep this corner for my reference point, so trim off this line as well. Okay, so now use your boundary command, BO, pick a point, make that, and make these 4 boundaries first. Go back to your SW isometric view, zoom in, and now use your extrude command, extrude all. And then I'm just gonna get rid of these now. Get rid of these as well. These. Okay, so now get rid of this line as well. Right, so now make another boundary for this object, and then extrude that as well to about 3 inches, and now you need to copy that from this point to this point, and you can copy that again from this corner point and put it on the top. Okay, so that's our window frame now, and now I'm going to make a glass layer. So I'll just go to my layer properties panel, and I make a new layer. I would say A-Windows Glass, and I will give a color about gray. Okay, so now I get rid of this as well, and I want to copy this line to the midpoint. Let's do it from here. So copy this from here, drop it on the middle point, and you just extrude this line to 6 feet. And now change that layer to window glass, and just move that to from this reference point to there, about there. Alright, so now you got your window frame done, and you got your glass done. So we're all alright guys, I've made my window here, and I've made rest of the window as well. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna move my windows to my walls. So once I'm finished moving all the windows, then I come back and show you guys how our drawing will look like. So okay, so now I've got my drawing there. I've moved all the windows, so I'll change that to shaded so we can see how our drawing will look like. So I've got all the windows done, and now let's start making some doors. So to make a door, what I'm going to do is, first of all, I'm going to make a slab for the bottom. So I'm gonna keep that building about 1.5 feet up. So I've got this outer mark here, so I can use that to make my slab for a ground. So I'll turn that, and then I'll copy this, and I'll just move one, make one copy there, and then I will extrude this about, let's say 18 inch. Alright, so 18 inch, that's done. So now I will change that to, I'll go to my layer properties and going to make another layer which says 3D ground. I'll keep that color to white. So now I will just change this to that, and then I'll copy this. Well, we can move this because we're not gonna need that. Maybe I can just move that and just drop that there. Alright, so now I can just drop it here. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move all my drawing to one. Okay, so I'm going to give a value on the z-axis 0, 0, a third value is z-axis, so I'll type 18 inch. So all my drawing is gone upwards now. So I'll just get rid of these lines. Alright, so now let's have a look at our drawing. How does it look like? Yep, so I've got the ground there. And now I'm going to make one door here. And I will finish up the rest of the doors and then I'll show you. Let's make one door first. So the door dimension would be 7 feet on the height. So where is our plan now? So I'm going to top view, change that to 2D wireframe, and let's go to our door now. And extrude that to 7 feet. And then just move that to your, well, copy that first from the midpoint. And just move that there to the midpoint. Alright, so our door is done now. Alright guys, our ground floor is done now. I'll show you one more time. Go to your shaded viewport and then you can see that. So now we're going to make a slab for the first floor. So I go back to my 3D wireframe and then I'll make few layers. 3D slab and 3D wall first. So I made these layers already, so I close this and I go to my top view. And then now you gotta start making polyline around your first floor. So start from here, make sure you're on a 2D slab first. I'll change that to 3D later, but I just made a mistake. So click here, click that, click this point. I know you guys thinking that this is an arc, why am I making line? As you know, the polyline can be converted to an arc, so I can do that later. So for now, I just made a line, and here I'll do the same thing. Select my midpoint, and then go to this point. Alright, so now I'm gonna change that to an arc. So just click on a polyline, and at this vertex, hover over your cursor to this vertex, you get three options: stretch, add vertex, convert to an arc. So click on convert to an arc and then choose perpendicularly, it will attach to that. Same here. Alright, so I'll just finish off that too. Okay, so now what we're gonna do, we're gonna apply an offset. So for offset 9" for the wall, select this point, and then maybe I can select from here. So offset 9". Alright, we got our boundaries now, so I'm gonna copy these walls, and I'll just move them from here. So now go to your SW isometric viewport, and now we're gonna clean up a little bit, or maybe there's a few things behind these wall layers. So alright, so now for the slab, I'll make another copy, and I'll extrude that about 4.5". 4.5, done. And I'm gonna copy this, and I'm going to drop it on the top of my ground floor. Okay, so now let's have a look how our drawing look like now. So I've got a slab there. I've got a few pillars to make on the ground floor. I'll do that later because I'm going to apply some design on my pillars. So for now, let's do our first floor. So go back here, make another copy, and extrude to 10 feet. Okay, so now change that to a 3D wireframe, and now use that Boolean operation, solid subtract. So I click on here, now I'm going to select this outer wall first, press spacebar, and I'm going to select inner wall, and I press spacebar again, and now you go back to your shaded. Now our walls are done for the first floor. So I'll copy these. First, let's go back to 3D wireframe so I can pick up the point. Okay, so that's done. I'm going to drop it there, and I'll change a layer to 3D first floor. There you go. So I've changed that layer as well. So now the second step we're going to do is making windows. So first we're going to cut the edges for the windows. So how can I do that? So for that, it's good practice that you keep your windows for your later use. Let's say you had a cutting from the bottom, so you can do that on the top as well. So now let's do one more thing here. So I go back to that viewport, go back to your top, and then make another polyline here. Alright, so you got that, you copy that about here, change your SW isometric, and then extrude that to 10 feet as well. 10 feet. And then copy that to your wall. And now I can type SU for Boolean Operations. So I'll select this wall first and then this part. So now I've got my first floor done. Okay, so for the windows, I'm going to cut my edging for the windows, and once I'm done, then I'll come back and show you guys. Alright. Now I want to extrude this outside boundary. I will extrude that to 4.5 inch, and then I will copy this part and then move it about here, and then I'll offset 4.5 inch inside, and I will extrude both of these to 4.5 inch. Now use your Boolean operation. I have to extrude about 2.5 feet, and use your Boolean operation, select that and select the inner part, and then you got your boundary there. So go to your shaded, now you got that boundary there, so you can copy that from this point and just drop it to the top of this, and now we got our floor. So I'll copy this and I will just drop that to select it from this one because we got the point there, so just drop it about to this point. Alright, so now we got our roof done. Yep, so now what I want to do is start making my pillars. So for my pillars, what I want to do, this is 10 feet high plus this 2 feet of this. First, let's make some steps here. So for the steps, I'll go back to my top view, change that to 3D wireframe, and delete this porch. And now these are the basically steps we need. So I will change this to my 0 layer, and then I will offset about 9 inch. Make one more offset, 9 inch to 9 inch, and then you can fill it. Okay, so that would be our floor now. So I will go and make a boundary, get rid of this porch, make a boundary to this part, there and there. So I will extrude this to whatever my height was, delete it, to what was my height, that was 18 inch, so I've got that. Extrude the outer part, to 9 inch, and then you need to extrude your inner part, so extrude that as well. There's a lot of objects overlapping, that's why we're getting this. So 18 inch. So if I change this to my shaded, so we got our steps done. So now I want to union these steps. Let's make a copy. So first union this inner part, this one to that one, and now just copy these. We're gonna change layers later on, so don't worry about layers for now. So I'll go and change my viewport and then just drop my thing to there. That steps are done now, and I want to make a little bit of decoration on my steps. So before I step to the next point, I'm going to apply my UCS and on a face, so select that face there and select this face, except done. So now I'm going to make a polyline right on my UCS. I go 3 inch and maybe 2 inches fine. So 2 inch, go down about, turn on your auto by pressing F8. So that will make you, okay, so polyline 2 inch, go down 2 inch, go back 2 inch and close, and then select that, change that to an arc. Okay, so I've got that there, Okay, so now let's just move that to on the y-axis about 1 inch. Okay, now so I'm going to change my layer to 0 now, and I'm going to draw a line quickly. I draw a line about So now we change our UCS first. So I change my UCS to 0 and draw a line from this point to this point, and I just drop it there. And I'm going to copy that line about here. And now what I want to do is I'm going to extrude this. So I select path by P and I select that line. So now we got that thing there. Now I'm going to show you how you can make pillars by using revolve command. So I've made this 2D drawing for our pillar. So I'll go and select this revolve command, select the object, and now you know that you're gonna revolve it on y-axis, but you can still pick a point as well, or you can type y, and now as you can see that we got our pillar revolving. So you can type the angle as well, that how much at what angle you want it to stop, but I want it to 360, so I press spacebar and I change that to my shaded. So now as you can see that we got our pillar done. So now I'm going to put that to my wherever the pillar goes. Once I've done my pillar, I'm gonna just drop that pillar wherever we need that in the drawing, and after that I'm going to finish off all my drawing. And because I've shown you basically what you need to know about 3D modeling, so I'll finish off my drawing, and then after that I'm gonna start applying materials, which I will explain, and then we will start rendering our project. If you come to this on your ribbon, if you come to this visualize tab, you can see that we got rendering options here, and I will show you at last that how can we make animation with motion path. Alright guys, this is our final 3D model of the house. So I pretty much covered everything about 3D modeling at the beginner level. So I was gonna apply material to this model, but I can't cover that in this video. So I'm gonna make a separate video, and I will leave a link in the description, so check that out if you wanna learn about applying materials on your 3D model and about rendering as well. So thanks for watching guys. If you like this video, give this video a thumbs up, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video.